High in the rugged Chonglai Mountains of central China, a young farm worker raced across the potato fields toward home. "I found a giant panda that is starving," she excitedly told her family and the other farm workers as she arrived at the village. The people knew they should help the suffering animal. This is because giant pandas are an unusual and rare species of bear living only in China's interior mountain ranges. Giant pandas are considered a national treasure of the People's Republic of China, and they are a critically endangered animal. Even one death would be a great loss to the species' survival. Immediately, the rescue began. The villagers dropped what they were doing and rushed to save the giant panda. They grabbed a large cage, some rope, and a long pole, then followed the young girl back across the fields and into a forest thick with towering fir, spruce, and maple trees. They crossed a raging stream and entered an area, Bassi Gully, that was covered with dying patches of bamboo as far as they could see. Near the bamboo and partly submerged in the stream lay a young giant panda. It was barely alive. The farm worker and the villagers quickly pulled the animal from the water. They dried it with their jackets. The dull eyes of the panda gazed up at the girl as it panted for breath. Several other rescuers lifted the panda into the cage. The long pole was tied to the top of the cage, making it easy for the villagers to carry the panda out of the forest. Two men, one at each end, balanced the pole on their shoulders so that the caged panda dangled between them. Then they brought the panda back to their rescue station. There, the starving panda, a female that was named Bassi after the gully in which she was found, was nursed back to health. Bassi was starving because the bamboo was dying in various regions of China. Bamboo leaves, shoots, and stalks are the giant panda's main food. Although they will also eat meat, pandas are usually too slow to catch the rats, squirrels, and other small mammals that share their forest habitat. Like everything else, it is normal for bamboo to die, usually dying about every 40 to 100 years. Before it dies, the bamboo, which is really a woody grass, flowers. Then it drops seeds, so new bamboo can sprout. Several years must pass, though, before the seeds grow into tall new bamboo plants that the giant pandas can eat. Years ago, when the bamboo died in one area, the giant panda could travel easily to a different mountain to find more living bamboo. But now, new farms and villages often block their way, so many pandas simply starve to death in withered bamboo patches. Then, too, many forests and bamboo thickets have been destroyed to build these farms and villages. The villagers were pleased that they had saved Bassi's life. After she fully regained her strength at the giant panda rescue station, the Chinese government decided that she would not be returned to the wild. Instead, she would live at the Fuzhou Zoo. She and a male giant panda named Yan Yan were later chosen to go to the United States as goodwill ambassadors to help many people learn about the endangered status of the giant panda. The lucky zoo chosen to host Bassi and Yan Yan was the San Diego Zoo in California. When San Diego Zoo staff heard that the giant pandas were coming to visit, the excitement began. Giant pandas had never been in San Diego before. Indeed, a lot of people were thrilled that the world's most famous zoo would be the temporary home for a pair of one of the world's most popular animals. When the giant pandas arrived in San Diego, a lot of excited people greeted them. Even reporters and photographers were there. More than 50 waited eagerly as Bassi and Yan Yan arrived in a huge airplane after a 17-hour flight from China. Everyone waited breathlessly as the airplane's cargo hatch opened. Bassi and Yan Yan had traveled in their own private compartment, complete with heating and air conditioning. The photographers leapt off the bus and raced toward the jet. High above the clicking cameras sat Bassi and Yan Yan in their travel cages, peering down at the excited, grinning crowd. The giant pandas were here, at last! A few days after Bassie and Yan Yan arrived, zoo roosters crowed, peacocks cackled, kookaburras giggled, and a mist rose from the hippo's pond. People were already lining up at the main entrance to the zoo. Today was the first day for people to see the giant pandas. 800 special friends of the San Diego Zoo were invited to the celebration. With the sharp crack of a drum and the clanging of cymbals, a traditional Chinese lion dance began the festivities. Dancers in a colorful, shimmering lion costume swooped and swirled past the crowd. Young children joined the excited crowd, marching by, waving pink, blue, green, and yellow flags. Then, with two clangs of a Chinese gong, the bamboo curtains to the panda's enclosure were rolled up. A few moments later, out waddled Yan Yan. The crowd gasped at its first sight of this special animal. Yan Yan's keeper celebrated too, by giving Yan Yan a paw shake, and then she dropped a bunch of plump red grapes into his furry palm. Suddenly, Bassie made her first appearance. Her keeper, Cao Ling, handed Bassie a bouquet of colorful flowers, which Bassie accepted and then waved them to the crowd. Her next feat was to push a stroller across the floor. Bassie had trouble steering the stroller, so Cao Ling helped her guide it. Whenever Cao Ling spoke to Bassie, in Chinese of course, the trained panda knew just what to do. When Cao Ling handed Bassie a human baby doll, the panda cradled it in her arms and gently patted it on the back. People oohed and awed, and many people secretly hoped that Bassie would one day become a mother to a baby panda. Most certainly, Bassie would care for her own baby a bit differently. A giant panda is born blind and helpless. Its eyes are closed until it is 40 days old. Its pink body is covered with thin white hair that doesn't begin to thicken and turn black in parts until it is a week old. The newborn panda weighs about 4 ounces, the weight of a stick of butter, and it is 800 times smaller than its mother. To protect her infant and to keep it warm during its first month of life, the mother panda holds it in one furry paw, cradling it against her body. Her cub's loud cries are a signal that it is hungry. The mother holds her infant to her breast up to 14 times a day so it can suckle her milk. As the baby grows bigger and stronger, it nurses less often. The mother will leave an older cub alone in a den while she feeds on bamboo. By the time a cub is 7 months old, it has grown considerably and is about the size of the cub in this picture. Bassie and Yan Yan lived in separate areas in their exhibit at the San Diego Zoo. This was because giant pandas live by themselves in the wild. They are only together when they breed. Still, if the pandas felt friendly, they could rub noses or touch paws through the bars that divided them. Later, when they got to know each other better, they enjoyed playing with each other. People especially enjoyed these antics as prime-time entertainment. Bassie and Yan Yan were handled by their trainers for a very special reason. If they were used to people, then researchers could easily gather valuable information about them. Mr. Chen, the Fuzhou Zoo director, made house calls to the pandas' exhibits. During his examinations, he gathered valuable data. He listened to the pandas' heartbeats, took their temperatures, and measured their blood pressures and breathing rates. He could even give the animals shots if they were sick or collect blood samples. The medical data Mr. Chen collected and the information he learned about the pandas would be helpful to other scientists who are trying to save the giant panda from extinction. Before waving goodbye to the zoo guests, Bassie entertained them with one more feat. She balanced on a teeter-board and caught colorful rings with her paws. With thundering applause from the crowd, the panda premiere and Bassie and Yan Yan's first performance ended. Bassie was then treated to a feast of bamboo and apples, and was soon sound asleep.